Vito, get fucking there. Oh my god. Almost got me fucking something. There we go. Grab the one or so we need. Come on. Come on. This out. There we go. Ugh. Oh, fuck it. Didn't even do it right. Come on. It's not showing the right one, but fuck it. I don't care. There we go. Alright, a little bit. That's freshy for today. Came over. There we go. Start a bow right there. There we go. There we go. Got this nice and loaded. Our late night little kickback named Late. All that shit. What I do? Alright. Cut your man bun for $1,000. I don't have one. That's the problem. There isn't one. I don't do man buns. The closest I ever will is if I like have this shit tied up in the back and I decide to tie it up like back there as like a top knot instead. But it's not like all the way like straight up on top like a man bun or something. Lighter. So my shit's all kind of like frizzy today. Between the mugginess and the heat, yeah. Day bun. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that I did get a chuckle out of that. A little bit. At least I had a little amusement. But hey, what's up? What's up, doggo? You just want to be on today, huh? Look at you. Oh my god, Vito. Hey, what's up, Tay? So why is my nose so big? I don't know, it just is. What, buddy? Although it looks like an average nose to me. Yeah. If anything, where's the comment about my big ass forehead? Vito, what? What is your deal, you crazy boy? You just want to lay by me? Is that it? You're upset that you knocked over the bone. Oh my god, you fucking dip in it. Oh, poor Jazzy. Oh, you poor thing, you. Vito. Vito. Oh, I got a little wet. Motherfucker. Okay, come on, bro. Alright, how much fell out? Luckily, not much fell out. Is this significant? Yeah, a little bit. Fill that up a bit. Eh. Damn it, Vito. Why must you do this? Oh my god, now you're just. Oh. Okay, you're not in here anymore. You just go. Yeah. Okay, should be good. But Jesus, Vito, fucking knocking everything over. Loved your pictures of the cats. Miss my cats every day. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I just like found them on my Google Photos the other day, so I was like, I figure I'd share them. Name's Gerald. Well, hello. What do? Communist? Question mark. Just for simplicity's sake, yes. Fuck it. Oh, damn it, Vito. Oh, Jazzy. Now she left. Okay, whatever. Vito's causing too much bits of chaos. But it's like this little swamp cooler AC thing in here where it's filled with water. But then you almost knocked that thing over and almost spilled some water out of that too. It's just like, what is your deal today, Vito? Fucking knocking everything over. You're from Indonesia? Cool. Nice. Hi. I don't know. What'd I do? I feel like we're going to want to start moving on from the highs, though. It's about 8 minutes going. Alright. Well, let's get this other one loaded up. All that good shenanigans. I don't know. Find a topic for today. Or I guess tonight. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's daytime. Even though it's like 2 in the morning. There we go. I will say, honestly, I was hearing a lot with like these election results in like New York and shit, and I am definitely very happy and pretty excited about like and hopeful honestly about like certain things that are kind of going down. I'm like, shit, is this actually finally we're having like the like Dem Tea Party movement kind of thing now? That should have been happening like a decade ago and longer. Maybe all my thoughts. What, Phoebe didn't even stream today? Shit. I got called into work after a certain point, so I was just like, fuck it. Don't really got much better to do. And it's already like, late, so I just didn't really, tune in too much. Besides yesterday, between rafting and everything, I definitely didn't have enough water because this morning I was just fucking so dead. Straight out of it. I was able to kind of get up and do some stuff a bit. Mostly just make up phone calls, and then I just went back to sleep after that. And then I was like, all right, well, when I wake up, my work wanted me to pop in at like 8 or something. It was like 8:20, and I'm just like, shit. Well, I did say between 8 to 9 when being called in, so who cares? I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just go in there when I can. And like right when I was on the bus, my boss said to me, he's like, "You almost there?" And I was like, "Yep, on the bus, pretty much there, just like one stop away." So, though it wasn't really too bad up until like the last hour where it got like kind of slammed out of nowhere for a second. And of course, there's these people that dined in at like the last 20 minutes of us being open, and all of them pretty much ordered with the same name. So it like they all came back up a little confused, being like, "Wait, where's my order?" and this and that. I'm like, it's literally all there, bro. All of it's there. It's just some of it probably got mixed up on other trays, just on the virtue of like, y'all ordered under the same name, even though they're all separate. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're all there. You're all together. It's like I didn't think it mattered that fucking much, but they're kind of making a little bit of a flip about it for a second, and I was just like, I mean, is what's specifically is particularly missing? I'll look at it and let you know what's what, and they showed me receipts. I was like, yep, it's that, and then they were just like, I don't know. They were like, well, why isn't it on my order and this and that? It's like it's all under the same name. Y'all paid differently, I'm assuming. Y'all paid separately, hence why it was spread out like that. But it's all there. And eventually, all figured it out and realized it. And and I was kind of like, y'all were kind of dumb, just a little bit. I didn't say that, but I just kind of had this look in my mind of just like, you were all a little stupid there, just a little bit. Like, how did you not know it's all there? Just take a look around and be like, oh, it's that, that. Okay. So I don't know. I don't get some people though. Howdy, friend. What to do? Do that somewhere else. Loki miss work. I should get a job again. Yeah. When I was like out of a job for a while, there was a part of me that was missing it too. I mean, I will say at this point. I mean, hold on. Blow my nose. Eh. There we go. Yeah. But there is definitely a lot of elements that I don't miss whatsoever, and especially just I'm not a fan of, and pretty much all of it comes down to the virtue of customer service. People can be assholes and ridiculous and be dumb over the most dumbest shit. It didn't get at your ass over stupid shit too, like about like, oh, my order wasn't correct even though it was. I mean, that one especially kind of threw me for a bit of a loop, even though I didn't really care and I wasn't making a big deal out of it. But I was just like, then I'll order in different names so I know exactly what goes to what. Otherwise, I'm just assuming you're all just, I don't know, y'all just paid separately? I don't fucking know. I will say sometimes, like, that's the one thing that I'll never miss when it comes to any form of work. Like, even when I used to work at Safeway for 9 years and shit. Because honestly, a lot of the biggest perks of that was just because it was a union job, and plus, like, at a certain point, people in the community kind of knew you enough, so. If I had a nickel for every time someone insulted my nose ring working as cashier, I would have 2 nickels. That's weird, it happened twice. Yeah, we're in a culture now where, like, piercings and stuff isn't that big of a deal anymore, but yeah, there are some people that are still prudes about it. Like, so much so that they're like, oh, that's ugly, you shouldn't wear that. Or whatever the fuck. But most people don't really care, even if they don't like it. Like, there are some of piercings that one of my shift leads has. I'm like, it's a little overkill in a way, just for me personally, just on the virtue of like having those things like up against my teeth and shit all the time would kind of annoy me. You know what I mean? Like, they have like these 2 piercings that almost look like fangs that are like right here. So it's just kind of like, it's cool, but I'm like, that would annoy the fuck out of me personally. Just giving people comments when I could tell they needed it. Or just like compliment on some cool shit that someone's wearing and stuff, you know? Angel bites. Oh, that's what they're called? Nice. I don't know exactly what they're called. I just knew it was something like that. Yo, Ignaro. What to do? What to do? Yeah, honestly, my thing, like, these days, at least when it comes to, quote, any prudishness, would literally probably be just a certain exceptional level of face tats. I've seen some people go full on, like fucking, I don't know, like Post Malone status with tats all over their face and shit. And I'm just like, dude, like, even for me, I'd be kind of a little like, what the fuck, bro? Like, if I was, like, hiring you or something. Low key, though. I mean, just because, like, I mean, that would scare some people sometimes. Like, I saw this one dude who literally almost had, like, some partial, like, clown makeup tattooed to him. where he had like the clown like stars that are like really long but like kind of narrow, horizontally and shit. And then like some other weird shit that was going on. I was just like, bro, like, how do you make a living? You know what I mean? It's like Jesus. Like I said, these days it doesn't matter as much, and I guarantee you that guy probably does warehouse shit where he doesn't have to deal with people, but still. Uh, One time she let a Jenny Ortega, and she got so excited her whole face lit up. That shit's so good for Mandy. Oh, 100% is. It's always nice to get, some good compliments, even if it's just something small. Like, hey, you got a really cool shirt, or I like how your hair's done up. Yeah, it looks nice, or, even little things like that can mean a lot. I will say, every so often, I do find somebody who just generally doesn't know how to take a compliment, and they're just kind of like, oh, thanks. And that's it. I'm like, well, eh. I will admit, I'm kind of the same way, too. I'll be like, oh, hey, thanks, bro. And that's kind of about it. Because sometimes I'm just like, well, I don't know what else to say to that. Especially if it's like something that, to me, I would consider benign, like my hair. I've had people say I have cool looking hair, and I'm like, all right. I literally don't really do fuck all to it besides just brush it. And, put shampoo or conditioner in every so often. The atmosphere is good. Oh, brewery job? Shit. Especially in like a customer service style work, doing something like that would actually be pretty fun. I'm kind of hoping eventually, like later down the line, I get an LLC, I can actually start doing some brewery slash like kind of bartending stuff, and maybe even kind of get the upgrade on what type of customer service work I'm doing. Because if I'm going to do one, that I know I can at least somewhat enjoy, I'd rather it much be at a spot that I've been to a while. I know some of the people, and I know they need some help. And I know for a fact there's like some places like that around here that I like to go to a lot. So I don't know if things stay and persist. I hate drunk people. Fair enough. I mean, there is the old culture of like if you're bartending, shit like that, you get to hear fucking everything. And I'm weirdly a little bit of a eavesdropper, not intentionally, but I will legit listen in on your shit, unintentionally, just sitting there in the corner when I'm like 10 feet away because you two are so loud I can hear everything you're saying. So sometimes I will just do that where I'm like on Reddit, but most of my attention is listening to you. And frankly, there's a lot of interesting things I've heard with people at at bars when they're talking to friends and shit like that. And there's definitely been a few times where I've been that guy. For good, bad, mostly good, but once in a blue moon, bad just because I'm like a little too fucked up, and I'm like, all right, I need to just go leave. It's my last drink, and finalizing with this and that, and I'm out. So I realized I'm like, yep, I'm at my limits. But I didn't realize that until it was a little too late. So time to chill out a little bit, warm my drink some agua, then dip out. We had a guy come in once and order beer, pass out on a bar before he even drank out of it. It was like noon. I had to catch his head so he didn't crack it on the bar. Damn. That guy either had like an all-nighter and was just so exhausted that he didn't even get a chance to even drink it. He was just like, just so out of it. To be fair, I've rarely have been like that at home, where I'll like lay down after a day of work, thinking about streaming, crack a beer. I crack the beer, I sit on my phone, and I'm just like, and I'm just out. Now he was drunk. Oh my god! And at noon, okay, yeah, that guy definitely is a grade A alcoholic for sure at that point. If you're like fucking shit faced at noon and you're passing out at that point, bruh, you should be like prohibited from buying the drinks. It's like I know he seemed okay at first. Well, like I said, he's an alcoholic, so chances are he knows how to mask it. If you drink for as long as someone like that, you kind of know how to mask a certain level of drunkenness up until you pass that point. It's kind of weird to explain, but my dad was an alcoholic, and I know for a fact that After a certain point, when you know someone enough when it comes to certain ticks that they have when they first start drinking, you'll know. So even if I can tell, yeah, my dad had a beer, I could tell because of certain ticks he would have as soon as he does. He just wouldn't overtly show it yet until about like a couple drinks later. By that first one or two, not so much. Maybe like after the second one, you'll start it being somewhat noticeable with like an occasional slur or whatever. I kept asking, bro, can I call someone? Give me a name. I'll call them. Have your phone. You couldn't even talk. Jesus, bro. Yeah, at that point, I just call like an emergency EMT services and just have them deal with him and just be like, here's his phone. Here's all of what we know he had. What do we do? You don't know. He's just literally uncommunicatable and all this shit. Yeah, too. Yeah, I figured at a certain point, there's only so much one can do, and have him escorted outside, where eventually that would have to happen anyway. So it's like, yeah, I've never seen that happen before at a bar, but I have seen people so drunk where they had to have friends like escort them into an Uber home and shit like that. I've even seen someone puke outside of a bar once because they were so fucked up. But I mean, luckily, I mean, I've never seen anything that severe though. He came back the next day, lay down in the booth with his own liquor. My boss is so pissed. Oh my god! So he even decided to bring his own shit at a bar. That is actual, just grade A alcoholic shit. My roommate's brother used to do shit like this, so where he was actually even kicked out of bars when he was caught in '86. Which, yeah, rightfully so. You don't do that. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? Only time that's acceptable is if you're at a show, at like a bar venue and at a show, the drinks are going to be upcharged a bit because it's the show, and you bring in your own little tiny like, plastic little cup that you put in your shoe or something. You drink that in the bathroom. That's the only time I'll ever find it acceptable, because like you're just trying to save money by buying less drinks at the show, maybe buy food and merch, but that's it. That's literally, as far as I'm concerned, the only time that's acceptable. And even then, yeah, if the bar catches you, you're an idiot. And they certainly got every right to kick you out too there. I will say, luckily, I've never had that problem. Even in the middle of a mosh pit, I would like, kind of really get down while I'm like kind of doing a circle pit thing and just like open it up, hide it in my pocket and just keep moshing. I've done that before and no one gives a fuck. So as long as like venue security don't see you do that. He grabbed both my hands too to try to pull me closer, but he had body strength of a newborn at that point. Oh my god. Oof. Man, it just makes me wonder if some motherfuckers sometimes when it comes to shit like that. Like it's noon and you're already that like gone. Like, damn, bro. Then next day you're doing shit like that where you're like, yeah, let me just like bring my own bottle and this and that, yeah. It would just like actually make the problem worse. Because that's a rational idea. Though to be fair, alcoholics are never usually rational decisions. It's definitely unfortunate, because like it's such a weird like mixed bag when it comes to alcohol. It's like it's a poison, it's not good, but at the same time, it's not inherently a problem unless someone makes it one. But it's so easy for the majority of people to not make it an issue. But yeah, there's always just some people that just unintentionally or intentionally just have to make it a problem. The unintentional just on the virtue that someone doesn't realize that they probably are, it's probably a fucking bad one, if they drink. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people out there that they're just like a certain archetype of drunk where it's like, yeah, you're just not good when you are, kind of thing. Though there's plenty of people that, especially in my experience, usually are very good, happy, going type of people and stuff. And it's actually like normally a pretty decent experience. I wouldn't say good all the time, but at least enough to where it's at. Yeah, a lot of night and early morning guys who come in after work. Oh yeah, because most of the time that's usually what the bars are there for, is people off work wanting to wind down a bit before they go home. Was the chill pastor? You had a pastor that was just chill, that would just go in the bar, have some drinks. Nice. Not gonna lie, that would actually kind of convince me to go to his sermons, being like, all right, you seem chill. It also sounds like a very Midwestern thing. All right, we're doing sermons on Sunday. And then after that, we're gonna go to have a service at the bar. I'm gonna service myself with a few beers. He'll come and talk about with us about his niche interest in the show on his computer. Nice. Good shit. Day shift period was the time. Nice. Day shifts always tend to be pretty good shifts. Don't have to worry about morning prep at all, really. Unless morning people don't really do a lot of it. Don't have to worry about closing shit at all. Unless, I guess it depends on the shift. Some, places will close closer to like that day shift, more so than an evening one, but depends on the business, I suppose. This is like a way to. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Let's go what anime you should watch and shit because he wants to get into it. Nice. Shit. If Rooster Fire was around during that time, I would have told him that. That anime, unironically, is probably one of my most favorite ones of all time at this point. Not even kidding. It's just awesome. So it's just about a chicken with superpowers and realizes he has like this. He's part of like this lineage of roosters that fight demons and shit. It's actually pretty badass as fuck. Despite how kind of absurd it is. Yo, working to watch on your channel. Nice. They report back that him and the wife like kill the kill. Like, okay, Mr. Pastor. Hey, at least he's one of those pastors that doesn't spend his whole life just like bibble talking and shit. That's why at least for him, I'd probably be like, all right, you're actually kind of chill. I kind of like you a little. You ain't all that bad. Ooh, that felt good. Nice snack crackle pops. Ugh. I just can't wait for this little wound to heal up eventually because it is not fun trying to crack my wrist while that's there. At least it's healing up all right. And because of that rafting trip I did yesterday, it took off the scab, so now it's just having a fresh healing. Frankly, it's better now because of it, I'd argue. Any Lone Star tick issues anywhere in the Northwest? We have deer ticks, but not Lone Star ticks. At least as far as I'm aware. And I haven't, weirdly enough, I've only seen a tick here in the PNW once ever, and it was when my dad was working doing landscaping, and one day he came back and noticed that he had a tick on the back of his neck, and I had to, try to deal with it and, kill it and get rid of it. And then I almost got rid of it, but then his head got stuck in him, so I had to like spend a lot more time trying to prod and like fucking surgically remove its fucking head out of him. Our hours were 11 to 10, so opening was pretty chill, but pretty much all kids worked the kitchen that night, so it was hit and miss. Yeah, that's kind of the thing about breweries and kitchens. They usually hire either like people that have been in it for a while, or they're dudes that have been at that one spot for a long time, or it's just like new kids, basically. Even out where I work, like there's not really much in between. You either have been there for years or you've been there for at most like two. it feels like there's no real in between there. And I'm like, okay. My guess is I'm probably going to be one of those dudes that's been there for like a year or two, maybe three at most, and then I move on to something else, which is fine for me. But at least just from what I can tell, that just does actually seem like kind of the premise. But also in general, with a lot of fast food slash fast casual and restaurant, just food industry shit in general, including breweries. At least from my experience, it's like I said, it's either people that have been at that spot and are like the cooks and been there for like a decade or longer, or they have only been there at maximum 5 years, and that's like being like the new kid kind of thing. And I say at max 5 years because they probably are like in school and finishing it up and shit like that, blah blah blah, little things like that. Even with some of my other coworkers, which most of them are younger than me, a lot of them are pretty much for the most part, like either going to eventually get different jobs and eventually the next year or two, or at least are going to wait like another couple years after finishing school or some other shit. So that sounds very socialist. It's not though. It's just basic work environment shit. It's just like how a lot of the food industry is, dude. Because I've done both. I've been the guy that's been there pretty much since the start for like 10 something years. When I used to do Safeway, work in the food industry there at the deli, and doing it where I'm at right now. Union job? Well, at Safeway, I had one there. The one I'm working at now doesn't. So as it stands right now, I'm not in a union, but doesn't mean I ain't gonna not support them. Inarguably, at least at the minimal, continue to advocate for it. Even if it's not necessarily at my workplace, but honestly, like the way my boss handles things, like he's I could already tell somewhat pretty labor sympathetic already as it is because it's pretty chill and pretty cool as fuck. But he also is a dude that's like, yeah, out of all the stores that we have, like I'm the one that actually for even starting wage, I pay the best with it. Like where others at least keep it to like more of the minimum wage, whether it's in the metro or otherwise, etc. Like he kind of takes at least one level or two up just because he knows that people got bills, they got to take care of themselves, this and that, blah blah blah, life obligations. So he wants to at least make it more comfortable, within the means that he can do. You know what I mean? Obviously, he can't just like unionize without unionizing kind of shit, right? But he can at least kind of, you know, work with the higher ups a bit to a sense to where he can at least make sure that if we have a day off or we want to switch a day or this and that, he's pretty open and pretty chill about shit like that. He actually wants to make sure that things can get worked out as long as there's at least a way to cover it. He even mentioned to me being like, "Yep, just let me know what like set schedule and this and that. I know that like having a split days of this and that's not viable, so I'll make sure about that." Like he actually does like consider those things, which for a manager, like I'm not even joking, he's probably unironically one of my most favorite managers I've had like in any job I've worked at. I have a part two question. Have you ever been starving and while chowing down some chicken, you accidentally momentarily choked? If so, did you like it? I mean, I have like eaten food so much, not like because I've been starving, but just because sometimes I'm just like, gulp, gulp. So I don't really chew it as much. So there's been times where it's not like choked, but it's been like, well, it's lodged in the throat. Like still breathing and everything. It's just like down here, and I can feel it. And I'm like, yeah, great. You sip some stuff, just stay calm, do this, stretch your throat out a bit, and just slowly let it go down. And eventually it does, and you kind of feel that relief, and you're like, oh, yeah, there it goes. And then I was like, all right, took one more drink just to make sure, and it's like, yeah, we're good. So, I mean, have done that a fucking couple times before, but luckily not in a long time. Like, that was more, I used to do that a lot as a younger adult and a teenager, really. In fact, at one point, I remember one of the worst times when I was like 12 or something, and it just will not go down. And I had to go to the fucking emergency because like my mom was like, "There's something in your throat that's not good." Blah blah blah. Like she kind of over panicked about it because I probably could have just slept it off and eventually either would have went down on its own way, or I woke up and I just kept drinking some water and the routine that I do now usually about it and eventually would have just went through. But they literally had to like knock me out and then like grab like something with like a little like one of those prong sticks but like bendable that you stick in your throat and then just like pick it out. I'm like, why not just fucking shove it down? Like the reason why I got stuck here is I thought it was so damn good. I took too much of a big bite. I don't know. What do you want? Sideways Dorito. Oh my god, I've done that and that is so bad. It's even worse if you like bite down on a bunch of Doritos, but you have that one that just like hits you in the wrong spot going down the throat, and then it like scratches your shit. Oh my god, that's the worst. It's not like big and it gets stuck or nothing, but it just like it will just slide down and it just happens to scratch your shit up a bit, and you're just like, fuck. That's the curse about those Doritos, man. Doritos are great and delicious, but you kind of need to like just on the virtue of not hurting yourself, like take extra care about eating them. Don't make sure they're not flipped up when you're chewing on them, and make sure they're at least soggy enough to where they ain't cutting your throat. You can't just jam down on those bitches, too quick. Sideways Oreos. Oreos are pretty good, but they don't have the same problem though. They're rounded, so even if they do kind of like got like a little bit of it that for whatever reason kind of got stuck in there, and you got like a mini Oreo didn't quite bite down on, then slides down. Doesn't have the same problem. It's like Doritos specifically and other like chips like that. Like JoJo. Yoshikage Kira. Right, for Japan. Nippon. There is the northeast section of Morio, where all the villas are, and I'm not married. Well, it's a lot of random personal info, but cool. I was grinding ham habanero ones, and the juice splashed directly in my eye. Oh, God. Dude, some of the sauces that we have are, like, ridiculously kind of weirdly powerful. So there's been a few times where I was, like, spraying down some of these bowls, and straight up, like, the fucking, what is it? Like, between like the atomic one, which is the hottest, the mango habanero, and the Cajun, like all of those are legitimately fucking so gnarly on your face. It's like legitimately practically like a pepper spray. I'm not even joking. I've had pepper spray, hit me in the face. Like I know what it is, and it really feels like a softer version of it, where I'm like, whoa, I'm awake now. Start having a sneeze fit shit. My eyes start getting watery. Arms are weak. Legs are heavy. Mom's spaghetti. You killed Sagechi. Poor Sagechi. Damn, that bastard. Murking our man, Sagechi. One time I was vaping in bed and it leaked into my eye. I thought I was going to go blind. Oh. Luckily, it's just basically nicotine and then vegetable glycerol shit or whatever. So, I mean, that's probably why you thought you were going blind. It's probably the nick literally absorbing in your eye, making it go fucking ape shit. Like, I don't even know how that would, like, ah. I'm sensitive about my eyes. I don't like anything being near them. Which is funny because, like, when it comes to performance art, I've thought about, like, well, I would need some contacts for very particular things I would like to do for certain performance art. But I hate that shit. And I don't want to deal with that shit. And I've seen the struggles of having to do that, especially when you've never done it before. And it's like, oh, God, no. But maybe I could, as long as like someone professionally, or at least like who has knowledge and is skilled at it, can do it for me. Because I don't trust myself to do it for me. Like someone else will have to do it for me, I think. Generally one of the top 5 physical pains I've ever felt. Ugh. See, that's why I hate having shit near my eye, because I've had so many different weird fucking things, from like dirt, oils, weed, even. Well, burnt weed. Like all sorts of, dude, I've had random shit like hit my eye. I've had like fry oil that's hot as fuck hit my eyes before. Like, and somehow I ain't blind or have lost vision. Like, I mean, my vision is still pretty damn good. And, like, I wouldn't say it's like 2020 like it used to, but I still have like an eagle's eye for certain things. You know, and also, like, I don't know, I just hate shit around there, you know? Like, I value my sight, you know? I don't like the idea of, like, even like if I wake up and I know it's just like sleep in the eye, and I'll try to get it out, but now it's just there and literally like blinds my vision where I can't see shit. I literally kind of have a mini panic of like, oh my god, this is not permanent, is it? Even though I know it's not, it's just shit that's obstructing my eyeballs. One time I sharded in a grocery store line and abandoned my groceries and walked out backwards while waving, saying, I'll be back. Oh my god. I'll admit, since I guess we're on that convo, I've accidentally done that at a restaurant where I thought it was a fart. It absolutely was not. And I had to literally, like, within the span of ETA 1 minute, fucking radar lock on where the fuck the bathrooms were, you know, and immediately, like, okay, beeline to the immediate fucking first toilet, and just I literally like had a whole fucking logistical plan thought out, because I had to be like ETA 30 seconds, leave now because the smell will happen. Like it was just one of those things where it's like I ETA immediate, because also there's more that is building up and ready to go. I already unleashed the valve, you know what I mean? I had to rapid close that shit. No pun intended, pause. Because I was just like, it was a mixture of everything of like ETA, we gotta go. I locked in on everything, and I just like, I'll be right back. Boom, beeline, and just went. Without even a second thought. And I literally spent like 30 minutes in there doing what I could to clean what I could up. And honestly, thank God it was not that bad. Fucking thank Christ. Like, I was like, okay, this is actually unironically salvageable. I will have to at least toss these when we get home eventually, but at least they're salvageable. I can work with this a little bit. It's fucked, but I can. The shower and everything will happen later. This isn't the worst thing in the world. Thank God. I've heard of horror stories, you know, beyond my comprehension. And even like visual interpretation. Like, so I was like, Ave Maria wasn't that bad. It was just kind of like a little beep. I was like, okay, that I could work with, but everything else though was fucked up though. So that's why I had to spend so much time, because I also was going back and forth, you know, getting like straight up wet towels and stuff, you know, to do deep clean shit. It was gnarly. It was bad, bro. At least it wasn't legitimately like the worst thing that could have happened, because I have seen some wild shit when it comes to bathrooms, bro. Where I'm like, I can't even imagine the disaster that led up to this moment. And then there's just me, just like, well, best outcome possible, I guess. But then you get these people, I'm like, I don't even want to use this bathroom anymore. I unironically go to the women's bathroom just on the virtue that it's cleaner, which I have done before. And I just wait until there's actually straight up nobody in there. Because I'll be like, sorry, nature calls, I don't care right now. After my gallbladder surgery, I was throwing up a mess of the day, and every time I get this a week. Oof. Good thing my BF is a EMT, so no surgeon could ever face him. That is a perk about someone that's like a nurse or works in the medical industry, especially as like an EMT or something. At a certain point, a lot of what the human body is capable of, and the unfortunate virtue of witnessing it or being a victim of such, is just like, yeah, oof. When you see enough of it, you practically might as well have seen it all, and it doesn't phase you at a certain point. Answer the question. Did I miss it? Or was it the one from earlier? Because I did answer that question. Pretty sure we like had a whole tangent about it. At the part 2 question one? Yeah, we answered that already. Unless there was another one that for whatever reason YouTube just didn't show me. Yeah, I'll do all messages to see if that works. Okay, now it just doesn't want me to show the messages at all. Wow, YouTube, are you serious right now? Now it's not showing anything. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let's do this. What? I literally cannot see the chat anymore. It has disappeared. And I don't even have the chat hidden either. I could click that, and then it says chat hidden, but now it's just not showing anything. Huh? I think I may have an idea. Hold on. Let me try Zeus. Let's do this. I'm going to turn off the mobile data for off, and then I'm going to turn it back on for a sec, and I'm thinking that might work. We'll see. Because we'll have to kind of reload it for a minute when I do that. Let's see if that works. It did not. All right, well, hold on. Give me a sec with this really quick then. Jesus. All right, let's see if that works. Did that work? Okay, it literally did not at all. All right, YouTube is not liking me right now. It does not like me. YouTube, why are you not showing the chat like whatsoever? Everything else is available for me to see besides that. Like, that's the only thing. It's like, nah, you just don't get to see that anymore. Ugh. All right, well, now I have to restart the fucking app. And I was hoping not to do that, but give me a second. Just give me a moment. There we go. Oh, yeah, now the chat's showing itself. Shocker. Of course I had to restart the app for that to work. Being all nice and sweet for me. In this activity shows a message but not on my screen. Oh, the channel activity? Alright, here, let me do that, because, yeah, it still doesn't show it, so I'll just do that real quick. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's why it didn't show it for some reason. If you had no choice, lose your eyes or lose your dick and balls, what would you choose? So that's the question. You back on? Yeah, we got the chat back and everything. I don't know why I decided to just, like, not show it there for a minute, but hey, we're here. Yeah, YouTube doesn't want to show it, but in the channel activity, I can see it, so. But, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I mean, not that I'm, like, gender fluid or anything, but frankly, if I had to, like, be like, well, you're trans now, motherfucker. Alright, I guess that's what's happening now, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a part of me that I'd just be like, fuck it. Alright, because honestly, if we had, like, full-on transhumanism, like, where you can, like, change, like, any virtue and aspect of your body, then, yeah, like, when it comes to, like, oh, yeah, I feel I want to change it to this, whatever, like, yeah, you can do that. I mean, I'm kind of on that sphere of, like, you know, transhumanistic advancement shit, where I'm kind of like gender ascension almost. So I'm like, yeah, let's let it, be where the chimeric bodies are own little temples of what we personally want to express it as. Why not? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? What harm does it do to you? And besides, I'd rather have my sight. Like I said, I value it. Besides, who's to say I can't get it back? Yeah, no, trust, but what? Can I not get surgery back to revert it? There was no caveats to it. So there is that. It's definitely a hard choice. I don't know. For me, it's a little easier because I'd legit rather. I mean, I don't know. I guess if we were talking about transhumanism shit too, then I could just make the same answer about like the eyeballs, because I could just have it like the implanted eyes, get like an eye implant or something. And also, like, are we losing the eyes themselves, or are we like just losing the sight? Because if it's just eyesight, that does hypothetically mean I still have my eyes, so that means that I could get them repaired. So, I mean, that at least isn't inherently like the end of the world. Though, to be fair, it would be really shitty. And like I said, I would rather still have my eyesight. It's just how I feel about that one. I mean, it's still a hard choice, but yeah. I mean, because, I don't know, like, because now I'm trying to think about, like, sex stuff here too a little bit. Because, like, there is also, like, the virtue that obviously, like, yeah, well, I can't exactly, receive it, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's in the world either, necessarily, but that would be a massive difference. I suppose I could literally just have a strap on dildo and literally just like, yeah, what dildo you want, what type of package you want on me. Like, I mean, I could interchange in that way too, so there is that. I don't know. That's such a weird fucking question, though. I am gonna admit that. Would you let 10 Chinese men tag team you or take a pounding from Shack Attack from the back? I'm bisexual, bro. Like, and a switch. So, I mean, my guy, does that have to be a choice? So I got like 10 Chinese dudes just like tag team me, and then like Shack Attack. Like I said, does it have to be a choice? What if we're at like some sex party and Shack Attack just happens to be there, especially in his prime, and it's just 10 Chinese gay dudes? Is that supposed to be a problem? I mean, I guess I'm the twink that's just modeling the whole time, but I'll do some prep the day before and the day of. Unironically, there is bottom prep. I'm not even joking. And a part of that also includes diet. And you want to know one thing I've noticed as exceptional about that is that sushi and sashimi and stuff like that is actually like in nigiri and stuff is actually kind of for protein, also for fiber and other stuff, and like gut balance a little bit. And keeping things back there relatively clean is legitimately kind of a thing. Like if especially if it's affordable, it is encouraged to try to go eat more sushi and stuff like that. Is for bottom prep, and also especially like anything that's got like protein and fiber, like chicken is really excellent. Um, and there's like definitely certain things to avoid, as well. So it really just kind of varies, but also no matter what, there's clean back there too. Because I have symbols just white that ass. You got to like do a little extra. But that's just extra steps of hygiene now, isn't it? And like I said, there's a level of like gut health that comes into it too. Because if your gut bacteria and your gut health and what your diet is basically meaning you're having like more like, for lack of better terms, sloppier shits instead of like more firm like solid ones or whatever, it's not going to be a good time no matter what. I mean, even the cleaning and everything, like it's just not good. It's bad because it's. I mean, because I will admit, sometimes it will feel like it'll take forever to finally be clean, shit, and try to prep. But then you'll realize, like, well, it's just not the time. My gut's just, nope, nope, too much funk. Would you be angry if you discover your boyfriend and girlfriend are looking to get behind your back? So that implies I'm in like a trinary like relationship. So like kind of a somewhat poly relationship. Wouldn't it already be implied that there's kind of a little three-way relationship happening there where it's like I would also consent that if they wanted to sleep together, they could? I mean, if that, like, let's say I had a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they knew each other and are also into each other as well, like it would kind of be weird if they weren't because of like, you know, why would they be okay with being my partner if there's somebody else who's like and they're not into, you know what I mean? Like that would be somewhat of an issue. I mean, open relationships and like poly relationships that are like in that expense, it doesn't inherently like not work, but there needs to be proper communication. And if it's in like a situation where it's like it's somehow behind their backs, even with our relationship to an extent at that point, and they discover it but kept it secret like that, then it's like I've already fucked up. You know what I mean? Like at that rate, I might as well just like openly converse and be like, "Hey, what are your thoughts about an open slash semi poly relationship where this is a guy that I think would be kind of hot and cute as a boyfriend, but I think you would really like him and love him a lot, and I want you to at least think about it and consider it. I'm not going to jump on it. I'm not going to do this and that, but I just want to talk to you first about it before I go further. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's just like, it's preferable to at least just have communication with this type of shit before just doing it, It obviously just makes the most amount of sense. And at some point, I'm going to need to get more weed on. I might do that on my way to work. Just have a bag of weed at my workplace. Low-key, I actually fuck. I might on my way to work just leave early just so I can do that. Let the old show Three's Company, Retro of a Fire, one, two girlfriends like that. Oh, I think I vaguely remember about that show. I haven't seen any of it outside maybe like an episode and some highlights of the show, but I'm familiar about it. Some of those old sitcoms were genuinely really good, though. Love and marriage, love and marriage. That's one of my more favorite ones from back then. It was a good song. Not just a good song, but also just a good show, too. I will say honestly, I kind of have a weird soft spot for George Lopez show. And then there's like another one that I kind of had a soft spot for. Home Improvement. Like I kind of had a soft spot growing up with that show a bit. Until I realized Tim Allen was kind of a piece of shit. But, I got some soft spots for some of those. But the problem is, though, I don't like sitcoms that much. But, I mean, when they're good, they are good. Like, I'll even, name a couple that I know are my favorite. Like, That 70s Show, Love and Marriage, Home Improvement. Like, those three are for sure right off the bat. And there's even, like, at least a couple others I can think of that, at the very minimal, are at least pretty decent. At least for what I've seen. That I'd like to watch Leave It to Beaver. Old. Oh, yeah, some old school right there. I like how I only really know it mostly as a reference. Like, oh, yeah, trying to go back to that Leave It to Beaver, blah, 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 kind of, like, I use it as a reference more so than actually really, like, knowing about it. It's kind of honestly unfortunate. I should at least watch a couple episodes of it. Remember that whistle intro? There's only like one song that's a whistle that I just know, like, that's in my head forever. I don't know if it is it or not. Ah, fuck, I can't whistle right now. No. They called Vito. Vito's like, what, you whistling for me? No, you've been knocking shit over with your insanity, my boy. And then he whistle. I think I skipped a verse there, but that's about right. Oh my god, Vito's going fucking psych. Oh, I'm stopping the whistles. He's going crazy about it. I wasn't even trying to call you, bro. Just what are you thinking that was going on here, homie? They're the best. We should make that pop again. Women's stuff. Trim is okay. I mean, hey, let women do what they want if they want to trim or not. I will say though, what was her name? Well, yeah, what was her name? Like Maya Kunis. She played like the little kid, and then there was oh, what was her fucking character's name? You're late. We already brought the bush back. Yeah, and frankly, outside of a few more like cultural norm eras of like modern recent history, like it's never really gone away. There's plenty of women out there that still got bush or at least are trimmed to be neat. I'm more preferable to just trim to be neat, but that's just me. I mean, because even with bush, you want to trim it and make sure it's neat and hygienic and shit. You don't want to just be like fucking a weird Amazonian jungle and infestacious weird microbiology forestry. You know what I mean? You don't need it to get a little funky. You know what I'm saying? Hygiene goes a long way. But hopefully, at least, even dudes, feel this way too, because they should. Too much bush shit, you can't win. Yeah, for real though. That's why I at least kind of trim my shit down. So it's not like super fucking ridiculous. And also occasionally I literally just will get one of them that'll just like get snagged on something. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I just like eventually just like have to go down and just like yank it out. Be like, fucking hair, get out of there. It's like, why are you stuck on shit? Like, what's wrong with you? It'd be like on a zipper or fucking like, stuck on a strand of like, fiber of like the underwear or something. I'm just like, why? How? What? It's like, okay, this is ridiculous. It just won't get out because somehow it just threaded itself in there and now it won't leave. Much I had to keep the hair. There's a reason, especially when it's like filter. Well, not just that, but also there is a legitimate factor of stimulation that happens when it comes to the hair down there too. Like for both sides, of the spectrum on that one. Like for men, the reason why we have it because it does offer extra level of stimuli when grinding up against the surface level, right? Same for women too. Does something for us too when we're when the slides happen, but you got a little bit of that extra little stimulus going on. I mean, that's just kind of a part of the biology aspect too. That's also why some women like having a man with a beard, because when they're being eaten out by a man with a really thick beard, they're getting all that extra little, tinglies from the beard hairs. It's not all across the board, but there is truth to that. I've literally heard women be like, "Oh yes, the tingliness of a beard just." They literally will just do shit like that and get flushed and be like, even just thinking about it, they're like, "Oh my god." I'm sitting here like, God damn, like TMI maybe? I don't know. Like what? Sugar ball going up there. Oh my god. Yeah, there's truth to that. And plus, it is there to help, like, catch loosey gooseys, you know what I mean? Dingleberries and shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason for it. I will admit, like, I'm kind of glad I don't got a lot, but yeah, what I do, guys, I enjoy it because it's just it can't like, and also if you shave down there like and you get like a weird little like razor bump or something, it is literally the worst place ever. It's horrible. I'll say this much: I'm just glad I don't have that much body hair in general to an extent because like even on the it's kind of nice, but where it is it counts. And every so often, I try to trim beneath there. But at least for the crack area, I just leave it there because, like, well, what the fuck am I going to do with that? Back 17. Oh, that honestly, I will admit that's one spot that I also kind of add to my broader pubic area for trim to be neat personally because it's like it's just one of those things where I don't know what it is for me, but I just can't really stand it that much, and it really drives me nuts. And it's like one of the few spots on my body that like rapidly grows extensively. I'm just like, bro, what the hell? And I accidentally kicked Jessie in the face, poor girl. I'm sorry. It keeps the flavor. That's more for like facial hair. It only works if someone like me got that, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't. I mean, I kind of do here, like goatee shit that's eventually going to come in to a degree, but everything else, no. Not for a few years. Pheromones. Well, yeah. Well, the human body's always producing it. And the thing is, we just never know about it. Well, we do subconsciously, but you know, unless someone's got like some musk or some actual scent, like naturally that they're protruding, like you don't really know it when it comes to these little like pheromone chemicals that we're smelling. Like all the time when it comes to certain things, especially when you're around a lot of people, like things like estrogen, testosterone, dopamine, all these little chemicals, we're subconsciously analyzing and smelling and all that. You know what I mean? And sometimes, it just hits our brain in a way where we're like, oh. I even found out my manager was actually gay and has a husband, but he's also mentioned, it's like, yeah, there's some, like a dude with some smell I kind of like, but sometimes there's like even spices that we got where it just smells like really bad BO, and I'm just like, even that, I can't handle, bro. I can handle some, some BO, some smells, and some musk, but that's just no, bro, too much. And I'm kind of looking at him like, one, I didn't know you were gay, and two, like, I didn't know you had a musk kink. Like, I learned two things about my boss at once in that convo. I was like, okay, that's interesting to know. Not sure if I needed to know that. I looked in the mirror. What I see, long ass blonde, thankfully hair on my chin. Crazy my BF never mentioned it. I had a whole whisker. Probably, maybe never even noticed it. And honestly, weirdly enough, I had like a pimple that I thought was one, but it was just a really bad ingrown hair one time, a couple years back. It was like right over here. I think that might actually be the scar of it, where I finally got it and it popped out as a hair, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I yanked it out, and it literally was like this fucking long. But once it finally pulled out, it literally cling, curled up in this tiny little like coil, and I was like, I literally just sat there analyzing this, even like brushing it with my finger, like just weirdly autistically analyzing it, but also mesmerized that that was just there that whole time. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, whoa. Never had an ingrown hair like that, in a long time though. There was only like maybe one other time I did, but hopefully I don't get another one though, because they kind of suck. About to be 27. I'm not really that old. Don't call me that, please. It's a soft spot. See, I've thought about it, but I don't do it. There's only one person that I will call that, and it's actually an old high school friend who's also named Taylor. And every so often we're like, "Hey, what's up, Taylor? What's up, bro?" We dap each other up and shit, because that is one of his nicknames. So we'll call him that occasionally, but that's like the only person that will call that. And I know I think Phoebe will call Taylor that, but I'm not in that circle. You know what I mean? Tay's fine. I'm assuming because I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" It's like a shorthand, but that's it. Still too Tay Tay. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I've like thought about it, but I've never done it just because I'm like, that's kind of more of a extra nickname thing. Like that, you got to be like extra cool with somebody for that. That's what my dad always called me. Uh, yeah, that would have a certain spot there for sure. Turn up smooch. Oop. Dad called you dumbass. I know my dad's called me that a couple times. Did he ever really give me like a nickname of any type, really, that was consistent? Not that I can think of. I mean, he's always called me little nicknames for like different memes and shit that I've done, but not really like anything else. Not that I can think of. They also call me tater salad, but that one's just funny. Tater salad? What? Yeah, that one is actually kind of funny. Get a collar, dumbass. Man, that would be a little problematic. It sounds like your dad was probably old school, being like, yeah, my dad was a hard ass. That means I have to be a hard ass because that's the right thing to do or something. I don't know. Probably, I'm guessing. I hate potato salad. I've only had potato salad one time ever where I thought it was good. And it was a homemade one, and I didn't know who fucking made it. It was just someone in the family. That much I know. Beyond that, I don't like potato salad. I've never had a potato salad that was good. Besides that one time that I was just mentioning. And I don't even know who fucking made it. You know, I want to see if I could actually make a good, actual proper potato salad that's good. Because I like potatoes, so I'm thinking maybe if there's at least like a particular recipe that I can use, but maybe substitute some shit around, I could probably make a pretty decent one. But I'm also chilling calm. Well, hey, that's probably honestly a better element of being a man. Know that it can be tough, but also be calm, chill, and even have a moment of softness too. Tear tie, that's what my sister called me. This already. Oh damn. I don't know if that means just because you haven't seen her forever, or if it's some other thing. But I don't know if that's just condolences or what. Honestly, like I don't want to prude or intrude too much either though. She died a few weeks ago. Oh fuck. Well, yeah, condolences. Holy fuck. Jesus. That was a jerk. I will say my dad kind of was too. Well, is to an extent. I don't know. Like he isn't anymore. He's just. I don't even know what. To be frank, I kind of worry about his mental state sometimes at this point. I will admit. But all in all, though, like he was such a fucking mixed bag. But I will admit, probably a little bit more cons than pros, to be fucking frank. And at least for me, I've kind of come to terms with that. I don't know if he has though, and maybe like I need to let him know and be like, bro, sorry, but I've come to terms with my personal feelings on some shit, and maybe I might feel different, but you gotta bring it back a little bit here, because even like some of the stuff he's said, like in texts and calls recently, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? For one, and for two, like, are you good? Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, I suppose. And that's also with my own mother, having at this rate, at least to keep it limited because I don't want to get into it. But I guess for Liber, it's a limited time as well, and it's just like they both got that. As for my dad, I don't know what the fuck he his clock is done. But at least for my mom, it's like, kind of no. And it's one of those things where, at the very least, I gotta prioritize one, to the other, to an extent, because at least, between my mom, I haven't really come to like a certain piece about that yet, which is weird because she was like the one that raised me the most. Weirdly enough, I had probably the most, you know, budding but also conflicting, relationship, but also, despite it all, really good one. And now that I'm adulting, I'm not really around her as much. And it's like, look, I definitely need to make sure at least, I do some level of prioritization towards that. Even regardless of my dad's shit, because honestly, like I said, it's like for him, he just, I don't know. Maybe I need to just like be front with him, be like, yo, bro, this is just how my thoughts are. And it's no inherent, follow one or the other. But, bro, you got to kind of come to term that, like, into terms, knowing that, like, yeah, the way things are going, was kind of a little bit on you. Because especially when it came to like a lot of fucking things. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into it. It's just like he kind of was a little bit a major blame to it. I know I don't have any culpability to it outside of the fact that I brought a dog there once, with my boy Zukov and some other shit, like maybe like three things at most. And that was like way later down the line. So I can't be, blamed for this whole fucking shit. It's just one of those things where it's like, I hope he understands that at least he can at least try to rectify that in some way, but that's on him to do, not me. Because, like I said, I've come to terms with it, but has he? Your dad didn't think the North Pole was real? What? That objectively, that's literally a thing. How do you think the Earth? What? Huh? I'm kind of glad I kept going on my little thing before I started reading the chat again. Because what? That broke my brain. Huh? Like, even if you don't think like the North Pole as like the Arctic or whatever, I think even fucking flat earthers understand there's like a North Pole esque thing. You know what I mean? Like, what? Huh? Ugh. God, fly. There are people, man. There are some fucking people out there, bro. I thought the North Pole was actually where there was access to the Earth's core, and that's where the lizard people came from. I think your dad watched a lot of Ancient Aliens, and a lot of it one too many. Dead ass. I just really on. I don't know how to really like comprehend that. I'm not even fucking gonna lie. I've heard so many different theories about the lizard people, which are usually based on the Anunnaki, which are like spacefaring lizard reptilian empire that's interstellar and shit that also kind of vassalized our primitive, world, to a degree as like their playing ground and shit. Like it wasn't they came from the core of the earth or some shit. Like he had a whole new thing and fucking theory going on, bro. Like what the fuck? I've never heard of that before. I mean, I've heard there's like an ancient like other civilization, like the Hollow Earth theory. Like there is shit around that, but I've never heard that specifically before. That is like wild. So I'm guessing he was like a Hollow Earth dude because he thought the core was more hollow and had like a reptilian like society or some shit. So I guess he was like a Hollow Earth dude. Or there's those people and a lot of lizards too. Well, yeah, we got reptilians and lizards and shit. But also, I mean, I kind of say it more, satirically and more of like a metaphor, but yeah, we do have lizard people. Trump, the Epstein class, Hillary, who's the lizard queen, and all, dude, they're all over the place. I mean, metaphorically and figuratively, but you know, especially how they operate, they really are like kind of lizard brained. So, I mean, it's not like they're lily or lizard people or something, but I mean, you know, they might as well be. Like the Zionist class too, when it comes to a lot of these Zionistic fucking fascist savages and shit too. Like they're part of it as well. They're lizard people too, in the same metric for slightly different reasons, but you know, all in all, what's really the difference? I'm a lizard. We're all capable of being a lizard. We all got a little bit of a lizard brain. It's just about tapping into it. God, I wish I had a picture or even a video, but there was a snake on the river, and it was a garter snake. I just straight up picked up that motherfucker, you know, and just like put it off to the side of the river because we were docked already, but it was kind of swimming up, you know, the current. And I was like, oh shit, look at this little bro. I just went yoink, and I just held it in my hand for a minute, and I was like, man, I wish I didn't not have my phone on me because I would have had a video be like, look at this little guy I caught. And they literally curled up around me for a minute, being like, oh, you're warm. I'm hanging out with you. After being in the cold water for a minute. I was just like, hell yeah, helping nature. Also, at the same rafting trip at the very beginning, I did see a bee that was like in the river, and I was coming up on some rapids, and I did try to, but failed to save it. And I was like, oh, you poor bee, you poor little thing. But I guess as a redemption, I did get that garter snake. I mean, they are capable, like snakes broadly are capable of swimming in waters and stuff. So it's not like, you know, it wouldn't have died or nothing necessarily. It was also just kind of near rapids in a spot where it just would not do well. They're eating the lizard. Oh, I see what you want. We were also on there for a couple of weeks, the only town culture. Oh, you hearing the song a little bit? Seen Bubble Beats lately? I've seen a couple. Not too many though. They're eating the aliens, they're eating the lizards, they're eating the reptiles. They're going to be pot roasting the cats. Stick steaming, roasting those dogs. Let me tell you, folks. And now they're trying to go after the algae. They're killing the algae, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. They're hating on the lizards, folks, let me tell you. I will say that's more of like a first term era Trump. Like at this point, he's like so he's so fucking sluggish. I can't even really do that. I mean, I could, but it just doesn't feel right. They're eating the lizards and the reptiles and the people that live there. Yes, they are. It's very sad. This is what the Democrats want. This is what Schumer and these damn Antifa and amphibious Tifa want, folks. Let me tell you. I'm trying to build a sanctuary in the reflective pool for the beautiful lizards, the beautiful reptiles, folks. Unironically, I do. I was saying it the other night, but I do kind of want that reflective pool to permanently be a swamp infested shithole. Arguably, the next administration should literally just reconvert it into like a natural, like environmental like thing where they change some of the fucking like concrete bullshit that surrounds it and make it into like natural like parkways and pathways and shit, like making it like a little bit more of like a natural park, you know, kind of thing where it's like got natural shit, local trees and local environmental stuff around it. Because at this point, that fucking reflecting pool has literally been so gigafucked, you know, with how much has been done to it. You might as well just like, you know, let nature take its course with it, you know, switch it up a bit and stuff like that. And then just like, you know, change shit around it where you plant, you know, new native trees and flora and just let it be kind of a natural space. I spiritually feel the reflective pool hanging on by a thread like the damn pain. I know. Oh, and God forbid you touch the water You might be arrested for like 50 years if you touch the fucking water of the pool. Oh, and also if you're protesting against Palestine or ICE or some shit, you're probably getting 50 plus years too on top of that as well. Because, you know, fascism is definitely not a thing in this country at all. Like, nah, not at all. Definitely doesn't happen in this fucking country, no. For Morgan. Well, I am. I know she's not, though. I actually don't know where she's from. I will say, if it was a little bit more feasible, you know, more affordable, fingers crossed, hopefully in the future, then it would be a. I wouldn't, you know, be surprised if it was an option. Would you rather fight Prime Donald Trump, who will sue the fuck out of you, or fight Prime Mike Tyson, you have a slim chance to none chance of surviving? Trump. Oh, what? I get to fight him because Mr. Bone Spurs, who literally dodged the draft, you know, motherfucker, and also literally never was in a real fight in his life. He literally gets freaked the fuck out of a goddamn bald eagle, bro. America's fucking goddamn bird, and he's like, oh shit, I don't like it. Yeah, like, that's not a contest. I don't give a fuck he's suing me. He does that to fucking anything. He sued Bill Maher back when Bill Maher used to not like him back in like 2016 over a fucking joke, and now at this point Bill Maher just laps his dick up. But still, like, he sued over stupid shit like that. I don't give a fuck he sues, whatever. Like, what? That's supposed to be a fucking, like, uh-oh. Maybe I might just die fighting Mike Tyson or whatever. Like, yeah, totally. I was originally born and raised in Oregon, but now in Texas. Oh, shit. Where in Oregon, by chance? And I also got family in Texas, so I'm also kind of curious as a follow-up, where in Texas? Oops. You guys don't know that Ignore was wrestling in the White House, Dawn? Shh. Don't let them know that. St. Louis, the trash city. Shout out St. Louis in here before. Yeah. I've heard too many bad things about St. Louis. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some cool stuff there, but I don't think it's worth it. But I mean, I will say at least Missouri like has cannabis lounges, and you know when it comes to the recreational weed law, like that's a thing. So they're a little bit better than Oregon on that one. So I mean, hey, they got some shit that's actually a little cooler than we got up here. Weirdly enough, only a couple things, not many, but hey, you know, like shit, we should be having that up here. I was born in Dallas, raised in St. Louis, spent my teens and 20s in Portland. Really know Portland because I partied hard there, like really hard. Nice. Yeah, I was born and raised out in Milwaukee, but you know, mostly in Portland, Milwaukee, yeah, like Portland metro area, basically. I'm now officially like in Portland now, but most of my life up until recently was living in Milwaukee. Good old Clack County. Good old. Not really. Milwaukee was literally the only good thing about Clackamas County for the most part. I'm not even gonna lie. Good Borutum and the Graffiti Mile. The aquarium is nice. Oh, they got the Graffiti Mile there? Oh. I might want to add to that. Leave a little note. Gresham or Beaverton or Hillsboro. None of that. Just let's put it this way. I'm like near the border of Clack County, but in the southeast. I don't want to like narrow it down too hard, but let's just say there's a pretty big major road that you're probably familiar with that we're off of. Well, there's two, but I'm gonna just only leave it to one. It's right behind the arch on the river. So basically, kind of like the riverfront area, of St. Louis is probably cool. Basically, kind of like the downtown slash like riverfront. You're below Vancouver. Well, no matter what, I'm definitely below Vancouver. Yeah, but not that close. Like I said, it's like on the very edge of Southeast and Clackamas County. And where I used to live at was pretty much on the edge in a different spot of Clackamas County, right over to Maloma. It's dangerous. Don't go there at night. Fair enough. I mean, it would be in the middle of the day when we're going there anyway. Like, arguably, if I had a hotel there, I'd probably just be at a bar nearby that's like at my hotel or at least near it. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get fucking clapped. I'm just trying to chill and look at some cool sights during the day. And once it's like dusk, I'll be like, all right, let's check out some bars near the hotel and just hang out there. Be within like a maximum 5-minute walking distance of the hotel at a certain point. Just chill. The gramophone. Is that a bar or is that a hotel? St. Louis is the sketchiest, and I've traveled. I will say I can't speak on St. Louis outside of what everyone has mentioned about at least St. Louis specifically. But I will say, my time in Chicago was literally a night and day difference from what I've heard about it. So what's actually funny before I get too far into it is that when my grandma Mimi, that's her nickname, so I feel comfortable at least saying it. She was like, "You went to Chicago?" And I showed some pictures, and I was showing, because it was like a couple weeks, maybe like 2 weeks at most, or something like that. After I went on that trip where they came over to visit, and we were seeing Mama, the rehab, physical rehab place and shit. And for my grandma, bless her heart, she was like, "Don't you know that Chicago is so dangerous and you could get yourself hurt or maybe even killed and shot and blah blah blah?" I was like, "Mimi, I was literally already there, and it's like my most favorite city. Like, I had no problems there. There's more sketchy stuff that happens in Portland more so than when I was there. Like, I think like I'm pretty sure Chicago's okay." She's like, "Well, I just worry," and she was kind of looking at me like, "I worry sometimes." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Don't." I think you've probably heard things, but that's probably misnomers and bullshit. I didn't say it like that, but it's probably not true. Literally, the worst thing was like the day that me and Logan were leaving, and it was after our friend Rip City, who sometimes is in the chat occasionally, and he like he already left early because his flight was more like at noon and shit. So we all woke up at like 10, and we were all just like, all right, well, me and Logan are going to spend the rest of the day just hanging out in Chicago and just chill a little bit more and kind of slowly but surely work our way up to the airport. And at one point, it's like, hey, there's a little cool park that we can finish up this whiskey and this last beer and smoke this last joint that we got and all this other shit. So we're like, all right, let's go over to this park. And on the way over there, there's kind of this somewhat sketchy spot where there's like, I'm gonna be blunt. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 black guys there just chilling, and two of them called out to us, and I kind of looked over for a second, but I was just like, all right, whatever. Still talking to my friend Logan about it, and he kind of looked at me, kind of went like, and did this a little bit. But once we, were farther away, he was like, "You do realize they were trying to like be like, why are you walking our turf?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of heard. I don't really go fuck. We're just passing through. I'm not. I'm just talking to you. We're just two dudes walking by. Like I mean, if ultimately I was like, yo, I kind of recognized it. That's why I looked over for a second, just like, yeah, what, like it's like kind of new, you know, what their whole idea was like, who are you two random ass white boys walking in our turf kind of shit. I'm like, going to a park. That's basically it. And by the time we left the park, we came back the same way we came in, and they were long gone, moved on to some other part of their little turf or whatever. I don't fucking know. But that was literally it. And I even remember kind of vaguely hearing them, talking amongst themselves shortly after, we still kept moving. So it wasn't a big deal. And frankly, if that was like the worst fucking thing that we had to deal with in Chicago, then that literally was never that bad at all. Did you ever accept me on Discord? I'm pretty sure I did. I thought I did at least. If I didn't, I'll make sure to do it later tonight. But I'm pretty sure I did. Honestly, at least I thought I did. Maybe I thought I did, but I just didn't because I was being dumb or something. But I'll double check and make sure though. Never felt inherently unsafe in St. Louis, but wasn't going to sketchy places. Well, yeah. I'm sure, like any other city, like there's going to be good spots and shit spots, and some cities probably just have the shit spots really fucking shit and bad, But honestly, every city and every urban place is always going to have little things like that. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't like the fact that that's the case, but that's kind of a truth, though. Portland's got some pretty sketchy fucking places that I wouldn't necessarily want to be caught unguarded a little bit. Like Old Chinatown and like the Pearl District area, there are certain places around there where I would not want to, be walking alone without at least something on me. Like pepper spray, a knife, something. Like even a gun, honestly. Like there's some sketchy shit around there. Unfortunately. During the daytime it's not really that bad, but once it gets nighttime, it gets sketchy quick. And also, there's by Union Station, which is where the train station is at, like literally like a block or two south of that, is a really sketchy fucking spot. Which also happens to be the max station for Union Station too. So, and it really smells fucking bad over there too. It's like kind of an unfortunately a neglected spot, and it's right by the fucking train station. It's just like, what the fuck? It's so bad. Like, there's been so many times where I've come home from Seattle with the Amtrak, and I'm like, all right, taking the next Max back home. And I literally would just look around for like 10 minutes because I'm just waiting, just observing shit. And it was just so fucking bad, bro. Every time. And it always smelled like fermented piss. So terrible. But like I said, though, these are very specific areas of Portland. Once you're out of those very specific very little plots of land, which are about like at most maybe 2 or 3 blocks, at least for the Union Station one, that's just a block. And that's like one specific block. So that's a very tiny spot in all of downtown Portland. Most of downtown Portland is actually pretty fine. And actually pretty nice and pretty neat. You're still going to find some homeless people here and there and shit. I mean, it's unfortunately inescapable, especially for any fucking city that I've been to. But, hey, like, it's not that bad out here, like, legitimately. Frankly, there's just certain levels of, like, entitlement and other shit, including from very, unfortunately impoverished poor people are just like, nah, I don't know, bro, like, because and even in customer service, I've had to deal with shit. My friend Logan has to, sometimes. And it's like, even like when it comes to them trying to come up to you, being like, "Oh, you got change?" No, I only carry cards. What do you have? Like a food card, like a food stamp card? Yeah, can I have it? It's what? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, what? It's some weird tweaker irrational like entitlement shit that is just fucking weird. It's not the same as like some rich prick shit, but it is like a weird horseshoe of it in a weird way, if it makes sense. I don't inherently blame them for it. They're not in the right mind at all. But still, it's like, what the fuck? I've literally had people be like, I only carry my cards like a Cash App card and stuff like that. And people will literally be like, "Can I have it?" I'm like, well, "Who the fuck are you? What?" I mean, it's like, no, if I had some spare change or some stuff like that, I got no problem just being like, yeah, here's like a quarter and some nickels or whatever. I don't care. I mean, if I happen to have change on me, I don't give a fuck about giving it to you. I don't have a problem with that. Or maybe I have leftover food from work and I'm like, I'm not gonna eat all this. Here, you want one of these? Take your pick out of all this. What's your favorite? That? Alright, cool. I'll take the rest. Like not big it's not that big of a deal to me. And honestly, I'd rather give food or like a drink or something like that, not drink like alcohol, but like, like a soda or a water or like a tea or something, Like if I happen to have that, then I know I'm probably not going to kill all of it or finish it or whatever. I'll just be like, here, you want it? I mean, even after work, sometimes, not tonight, but there are some nights, I'll have a lot of shit and I'll be like, on my way back home, I'll be like, I recognize someone's definitely way more on a harder luck than I am. I'll be like, you want this? Honestly, like, I was just thinking about just saving it just to save it, see if my friend wants some, but you look like you need more than, we do. And 99% of the time, I think only one time happened where it's like, yeah, I'm good. But pretty much everyone else, it's like, oh, yeah, cool, thanks, free food. Because honestly, they appreciate that a lot more than just having money because money is a lot more of an enabling factor for potentially them going on finding their next hit or buying alcohol and stuff like that. Where food and other liquids like water, tea, or soda even is way more preferable than that. You know what I mean? Or some drug they're gonna fucking take a hit on. I've even had motherfuckers really ask, like, where I get fit? I'm like, I literally would actually genuinely outright from the get go be aggressive. Like, you stupid fuck, do I look like I do Fent? Like, get the fuck out of here and get yourself clean. Like, what's wrong with you? That's sad. I feel bad you're addicted to it, but, like, get yourself help before it's too late. Like, what's wrong with you? And they'll just kind of walk off in shame, usually. And I'm like, yeah, you kind of need to a little bit. Go. There's plenty of resources out here, where you can get help. You know what I mean? It's just like, damn. I just kind of unfortunately hate, that happens sometimes, and especially when it's like these people are like so irrational. It's like, oh, I'm going to just know this or help them in that way. No, with food and stuff, of course, but not like that. And I never ever would anyway. I ain't feeling your addiction. Used to give him my cigs. Hey, that's another thing too. I've done that plenty of times, like, because I use them for mooks and shit. I'm not gonna lie, I had one split a little bit, for one. So, but yeah, like I'll do that too, because I'll buy some, and someone be like, "Hey, you happen to have a spare, or whatever?" And I'll be like, I actually did just buy some. Fuck it. Here, you want two? I'll just give it to them. Be like, here you go. Or either you be smoking cigarettes and smoking Fent, or some other shit. I mean, honestly, like, I don't care. You you want the six more than I do. Here, have a couple, actually. Like, I know you want one, but here, take like two or three. I mean, I don't mind, not using as much. Started by Midwesterns. I don't know why. I think I'm too West Coast with the Dab Texas. Oh, you never mentioned exactly kind of where from Texas, though, by the way. Are you in, like, the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Or, like, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, Lubbock? I don't know. There's definitely some major spots. Or maybe I missed it and I just was too dumb in my rant or something. I don't know. Hope you can't tune out. I'll eat it and pass out. Nice. Far as out from St. Louis, I hope I never have to go back. Well, I won't blame you. Portland's different though. St. Louis is good. Weird minority facts. Well, hey, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just can't really exactly say much about St. Louis because I've never been there. And the more I hear about it, yeah, I probably want to avoid it. I have a weird feeling that there's going to be one time where I might, have a weird excuse to go there, or maybe have a layover and it's like 12 hours, and I'm like, well, it's noon. Fuck it, spend a day in St. Louis or some shit. There might be something like that that happens, and I'm just like, well, guess I'm checking out the city now. So who knows? I mean, I'm also kind of an explorer type, so I'm sure there will be a day, where I'm like, all right, we're going to be traveling like the south a little bit. I want to check out some cities I want to, see. And St. Louis is a city I have to pass through to go check out some other, city like Savannah or some shit or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? At least from where I'm at from Portland. So I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe there will be a day where I'll be passing through that place and get to see it for what it is. And oof. Hopefully I don't have to though. The Arbiton, the Arbiton in the Union Station are really beautiful though. Stay around the Anheuser-Busch Stadium. Are these all like in conjunction of each other? The Arbitum and the Union Station and the AB Stadium? Because if they are, then it wouldn't be that hard to just kind of chill, in that little vicinity. I'm in Midland, Texas. I work all over the Permian Basin. Oh shit! So you're just kind of like a little bit out in the boonies and stuff. Oh, oh, that felt good. Damn. Oh, are you trying to use my little foot as a pillow? You chunk. Oh, not now. You just stretch it out like a thing. Don't might be able to answer that better than me. Well, I'm the layman on it. Don't know much about when it comes to stainless outside of just like all this other stuff. But the more I hear about, the less I'm interested in being there. So, but I've been pleasantly surprised, before. So, oh, name your most favorite state and why? Uh, Honestly, in a way, based on what parameters specifically? Because I mean, I gotta be biased as fuck and say Oregon though. The virtue of the natural beauty, my upbringing, being here, frankly, out of all the country, probably unironically one of the better states, despite its flaws and problems politically and shit. One of the better places to live in the country on certain factors. I don't know, like it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I kind of wanted to say Oregon, but I also don't want to say a state that I haven't been to before, like, because I've only traveled to certain places. I've been to Illinois and Chicago. I've been to Montana plenty of times, off and on from my childhood. Texas as well, which is obviously not going to be one of my favorite states. And Florida, I've been to once. I've been to California, Washington, North Dakota. I've been to Wyoming. I've been to Idaho. Where else? I don't really count it, but I'm pretty sure I passed through Colorado. But I don't really count that because it's really just like a road that kind of cuts through Colorado to go to Wyoming, kind of thing. Um, I'm trying to think if there's any other states I've been to, and I'm pretty sure. I think that's it. I haven't really been to that many states in the country. I want to change that though. I want to go to Philadelphia. I want to go to Maryland, New York. I want to go to California again for like San Francisco and a few other spots, especially like NorCal. Um, oh, I've also been to Nevada, with Vegas. Forgot about that. Then I had a layover in San Jose, which sucked in California, but I don't really count that. What's some other states I want to go to? I want to go to Colorado actually at some point, to check out some shit there. And I want to go to Wisconsin, Michigan, Maine, Vermont. I mean, there's a few places, honestly. Like, eventually, I do kind of want to check out all the places, and all the states in the country. But Alaska and Hawaii. I'd love to go to Alaska at some point. Actually, one of my coworkers used to live in Alaska for a long time and mentioned that, like, if it wasn't for different certain factors, they would honestly go back to Alaska and move up there and get into shit. The Gramophone bar is a little less than a mile from the Opperton. Bergman is farther, but if you walk in, but it's Travis about like 10 minutes from the gardens. You have 24 corpse flowers. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they have like Lime or like some other like rental e-scooter service or some shit. So I could probably just like hop on one of those bad boys and just like kind of do my thing with that. I could probably do something like that because I know in Minneapolis and oh yeah, because I've also been to Minnesota with Minneapolis and St. Paul. So I made it there. Oh my god, that was a fucking epic show. Actually, this used to be a pin back, but the pin back on it broke. But I got that, when I was at the show. Actually, on my keychain, it came with it, with the keychain part of it too. Now I have an excuse to have it as my keychain. Seeing them like so up close and shit, and then seeing the Who live with them, oh my god! It then started in mosh pit with the Trooper. Oh, peak, just peak. They have to port everything. Yeah, they got a lot more imports and shit. I mean, I still would like to visit and go. I know at least the indigenous people in Hawaii, are a lot more. I don't know. I won't say antagonistic, but a lot more reluctant about tourists and other Americans and shit visiting there and shit. But I'm kind of like, man, I honestly want to like explore it with your kind of people and shit though. I want to see Hawaii for what it truly is, not like this fucking, we kind of colonized it after the British, blah blah blah. But now we made America. It's like, I want to see the OG shit. Nobody ever knows them. Yeah, I've seen them live twice. And actually, I've known them because of this one local ska-core band, Los Malhablados, which I think we were playing. It was being played earlier, actually, but you should check them out because that's how I discovered them. And actually, that's how I discovered so many different bands. From Bridge City Sinners, from the Voodoo Glow Skulls, Fishbone. Like, I've discovered a lot of different bands because of them. And I'm also friends with Eric Molina of Los Malvados, too. I have his phone number. I haven't talked to him in a fat minute, but thinking eventually I'll have to reach out again and see what's up. Good job working at the fish boat for about 3 to 5 years, so accumulate. If I worked at the coast and lived on the coast, like Astoria or something, maybe I could, but I don't live out there. Gonna visit Australia? I'd like to one of these days. I just know it's really fucking expensive to fly over there and shit, so. I mean, one of these days, hopefully. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity eventually. I just don't think necessarily anytime soon right now. More likely to visit like Europe more so than Australia, at least right now. Read about my music more folksy like Phoebe. Well, I get you. I am too, but I also appreciate a lot of other sounds because I kind of grew up with a lot of rock, including like protest rock and shit like that, but metal, like Iron Maiden, Megadeth, Sabbath, the old school stuff, and then I eventually found my own taste of bands like Nightwish, like symphonic metal, and then like heavier stuff like Manson, Rammstein, shit like that. And then it just kind of, especially with you know, playing trumpet and shit, learning different like old classical stuff, that kind of helped expanded myself with like jazz and more, especially with symphonic and other shit. Like it expanded, my taste in music to the point where I'm pretty generalized now at this rate. I can listen to stockcore like this. I can listen to jazz. I can listen to rap. I'll if it sounds good to me, I'm just gonna like it at this point. Maybe I'll visit America one day. Probably won't happen. I wouldn't want to at this point right now. Yeah, like as an American, don't right now. No offense. I'd love for you to be here, but it's so bad right now that don't get caught up in it. Don't be here while things are bad. Come back when think about it when things are stable. Not much of a traveler, but I'd love to see Hell's Valley and Kyoto in Japan. Yeah, Japan would be fucking awesome to check out. I'd love to visit Sapporo because it's considered the sister city to Portland in the island of Hokkaido. But I also would love to visit Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Tokyo, uh, Kyoto, Edo. I mean, honestly, I just love to check out all of Japan, and because they have actually like a thing, shocker, like high speed rail and good transit and shit like that, it would be very easy for me to actually see all those places within like a week or two if I wanted to. Might have to narrow it down for certain spots. Be like, all right, I couldn't visit this city or that city, but I can at least check out this place and that place. Then come back to this spot. So I can at least do something like that. Noibetsu isn't far from Sapporo. Lots of onsens and springs. Ooh. After about 2 years, you'll know enough and pull around a grand day. But your first year or two, you're gonna have to get used to being screwed. But even screwed, you'll make more than 300 a day the first year. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, it's not really, out of the wheel lock of something for me. I mean, when it comes to animals and life and shit, there is part of me that I always wanted to at least have some level of a trade, regardless of what it is, around that. But I don't know, especially what I know about climate change and how these oceans and everything are going. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I'm gonna like that necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing, like, oh god, our hull is bad this year. Climate change. It is happening. It's making it so we're about to lose our jobs. Traditional rokans and all over the beautiful trails. Mm. Ooh, that felt good. Oh, little nappy little boy. He's like blocking that entire door. That's near Hills Valley. Huh. Definitely a place I'll have to check out eventually. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to visit Japan this soon. I know my brother has talked about it. Going there soon. So definitely have to see about checking that out. See if he hasn't done that yet or whatever. And if not, maybe I could be like, "Yo, room for one more." Oh, shit, sweet thing. Oh, sweet little thing. I'll go to Japan to become a ninja samurai master warrior. Oh my god. That's really my early teens. Kind of funny. I'm starting to slowly but surely become a weeb, little bit by bit, with some different animes I've been watching and shit. But it never was growing up, which is kind of ironic. You think, knowing my like weird little nerdy ass, I would have been a weeb, from the get go, but not really as much. I've only just recently started this weeb journey, the journey of weebism, as it were. Little bit by bit, I slowly but surely evolve into a bigger and bigger weeaboo. Oh my goodness, you little softball chunk. Jesus, how do you be fucking gouty on this shit? Little nappy little thing. Little chunks of soft. Vito is in deep sleep. He's not having a big dream though, but he's having a good sleep. Fish in Alaska, oil and gas in the Permian Basin, North Dakota to coal and gold mine in California, Nevada, and Dakotas. Well, I mean, that's, if I decide I want to, go to those different states. I mean, Alaska, I'm probably more likely to, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I'm a stubborn fuck in this way where I kind of feel a little at home here, and I wouldn't want to leave it. I'm shit. I'm a political nerd ass fuck anyway, so who's to say that maybe, I might have an ambition there. It's always been in the back of my mind with something like that. I've looked it up before, and you do actually have to like put money in, to like put in like the actual official like candidacy kind of thing or whatever the fuck. So there is a whole process to it. I'm just like, oh fuck. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit before that becomes a potential idea. And where I would have done it, I don't live there anymore. So I would have to live, in Milwaukee for that to be the case, because that's where I spent pretty much my whole life. I would have to wait a few years before even considering that for Portland, and I wouldn't necessarily want to do it for Portland. No offense to the Portland, but shit, sun's up, gotta go to bed. Well, yeah, I was about to kind of kill this little beer anyway and call it good, so I think we're all kind of on a similar page, aren't we? On the little outro side of things. Must be going on for like a little 2 hours, so not too bad. Tell me what you're into, and I know it's good to hold us sometimes soon, so watch again last time. That's good, but I think Slowly here and Future Diary will always be the best of me. I'll definitely check it out. Go to Alaska and doctoring experience, and after 5 years, you're famous. I mean, I'm already been kind of slowly but surely getting into that as it is right now. I'm already like pretty close to monetization as it is, so just a little bit by bit, one step at a time. Just one step at a time. Let me load up one more little Denko bowl. Yeah, think about what I want to do for some food. Some good old food. Let's see what leftovers are available. I know there's gonna be some around. Dude got some like the fried like Cajun corn that we got from my work, and I'm like, I've had it before and it's pretty fucking good, but I kind of want to add something to it though. On its own, it's a little like meh. But if I can find something else that I can have with it, then I might just be like, oh hell yeah. But I have to see. I have to find out. But then it's about 90 minutes. Nice. Says you might have enough time to watch a film or a show or something before the full departure. But anyway, at least I'm gonna find something to chill out with. So, with all that being said, let's peace the flow out for now. And of course, we shall all see you all in our next one. So, toodaloo.